Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's webinar, Change Management. Transition into a new system doesn't need to be hard. And I'm gonna quickly change to yes. Yes, hello. So my name is Alicia, and I will be your host during today's webinar. Uh, we are very happy to welcome you all online during this live session. And yeah, today a bit different format, an interview with a very interesting and special guest, but more to it soon. First of all, I would like to talk a bit more about the practicalities regarding this session. Um, for all who cannot make it now live, um, it will of course be available for you afterwards. So you can access it directly from our playbook, as you can see on the screen. And I really do hope that some of you might have seen it already. But you can also enter the webinar afterwards using our YouTube channel. Yes, and at the end of the session, we will have also a Q&A, so you can gather some questions in the course of the webinar, and then at the end you can just write it in the chat, and we will take it together with our guest. Yes, and back to our today's session, and this is all about change management, and change is something that we all deal with. On many different fronts, on many different levels. And at Speedadmin, we've seen firsthand how exciting and rewarding, but also how challenging change can be. And yeah, that's why we're also here today. We want to share with you some insights, give you some tools and real life examples, real life stories that can help make your digital transformation smoother and more inspiring. And on that note, I'm thrilled to announce our guest today. And this is Natalia Wegner. She's a consultant and the manager at Deloitte. And yeah, I think she's going to be very happy to present herself. So I'm gonna call her in to our meeting. Hello, Natalia. Can you hear us?
Yes, hello everyone.
Hi, Natalia.
Happy to be here. Maybe before we start, yes, I will say some words about myself.
Please do, yes.
So I'm Natalia and I'm very active in the area of HRIT. So now I've been working in this area for over 8 years. I started indeed with an internal role within the company, but then around 5 years ago, I changed to consulting. And now I'm working at Deloitte and supporting our clients with HRIT transformations. Often it's the implementation of a new system. And the change management is, of course, playing a big role in those different transformations. So I started to work with large corporations at the beginning of my consulting path. But indeed, 2 years ago, I also changed my focus on mid-size clients and currently working with the medium enterprise clients as well. So definitely happy to be here with you today and talk with you a little bit about the change and change management.
Amazing, Natalia. Great to have you here. I'm so excited to start our talk, our interview, panel discussion, you name it. Yeah, so are we ready? Should we start? Yes,
Yes.
perfect. Good. So, Natalia, maybe a first very basic question for you, probably, but from your perspective and in your experience, what do you actually understand by change? And have you noticed that the importance of this aspect, like change management, is growing in the last couple of years?
Yeah. It's a good question because probably if you ask any of us, the definition would be a bit different. But what it means for me, the change and change management, especially, it's really like a structured method that really helps us to plan and implement the changes effectively. Yeah. So the change, managed change should really ensure that everything runs smoothly, for instance, in a project, hopefully, or at least to the extent that uh, it aims to run smoothly, and that the changes that we implement have a long-term positive effects. And I will be talking a lot about project because that's how my consulting world works and also where my experience lies. But I hope you can also bring it to other areas of your tasks. What I have noticed in the project, so in the consulting, we before we start a project, of course, the client needs to reach to us and say, "Hey, I request for a proposal." Mostly in my area, it's a new system being implemented. And what I noticed in the last 5 years that when we received the proposals back then, it was the client wanted to have a new system and they didn't want to plan additional resources for change management activities or any other guiding activities next to the system. But what I've noticed in the last 2 years, and it really makes me happy, is that clients realized how important the change management is while implementing a new system. And this topic is always a topic in the request for proposals from clients. So it's always either a bigger one with full change management activities or a smaller one through just some guidance for the client, but it is always there and it's not like a nice to have anymore, the change management, but it's really essential.
Nice. Yeah, that makes it even more relevant for us to be here today and have you here as a guest. Uh, so yeah, Natalia, you've worked with many organizations through those years that you've been a consultant at Deloitte, and yeah, you went through complex transformation with your clients. And from your perspective and experience, what are the most common fears and challenges that people face when new systems are introduced?
Yeah. So I'm indeed working with bigger corporations, but also the medium enterprise, so mid-size clients. And what I've noticed, first of all, that each transformation is big. So it doesn't matter if you ask the corporation or the small clients, for them, the transformation is always a large one while implementing a new system. And what I also noticed that the fears are similar across
Mm,
different organizations. So when we look into a project life cycle, we can really observe a kind of curve of change. So at the beginning of each change, maybe a project, maybe some other exercise happening. At the beginning, people are, especially the project team, is a little bit uncertain. Okay, what will happen with my task? What do I need to do? What would be the next steps? And at the very beginning, it's super important to, as a management of the project or the exercise, to really show, hey, we have a plan. Those are the next steps for the next weeks. This is what is going to happen. This will be required from you. This is the capacity you need to invest, and those will be the tasks awaiting for you. Then what happens in a project life cycle is actually a very beautiful moment where project teams say, hey, this is really awesome. It's much better what we have today and everything will be better. And it's on the one side really nice to have those different expectations, but on the other side, it's really important to also manage those high expectations to still stay realistic. And this would be also um, a task of a change management to have a look into the expectations and manage them accordingly. Then what happens very often, and maybe you can also identify this in your tasks or in your project, is that the team is overwhelmed. So there is a fear of capacity. Hey, do I really need to do all of these different tasks? Can I do it? And there it's also very important with different measures to manage this and to bring the team back to the positive mindset. Hey, you can do it. This is all the support you need, and it will be all fine. Yeah. So
Mm.
that at the end of the project, best case, the team can say, hey, it was really worth it. I had some fears, but now I really see the result and the positive benefits.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and in addition, you also ask a little bit about the challenges,
Mm.
what we experience in a change and in projects is first of all the employee resistance, especially when you have experts within your company that are there from 20, 30 years.
Mm.
It's not that easy to change the way of work. Yeah, so it's really you need to put a lot of effort to yeah, to bring them to a change mindset. And then also some other challenges are if the leadership is not fully supporting the change, and also if the expectations are unrealistic. So it's really important.
Mm.
It's not always the nicest task to manage the expectations, but it's super important in any
Yeah.
task and in any project. And I think we will talk a little bit more about the different change management tools and stories,
Yes.
but it's very, very important to start it as early as possible whenever you are in front of a project or task where you notice there is something changing to really have a structured way from the beginning.
Yeah, I think structure was the key word of your answer, as well as feedback. I think the culture of feedback is also something that needs to be acknowledged, and if you foster it in your organization, that you have this open dialogue, then you're good to go. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Natalia.
indeed.
Thank you so much. Um, and yeah, we have this perspective of both big organizations and mid-size. Our schools are a bit more, yeah, they are smaller organizations. I would say they operate on a smaller scale. But as you said, they face similar challenges, like change is change. So, but Natalia, how could we translate those big project change principles into, yeah, into
Hmm.
the smaller environment?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I would say it's not so much about the um, size of our
Mm,
organization, but it's rather that the measures of change management are adjusted to your organization and your culture. And you said a very important word, principles. So this is like the only tip, the main tip that I can give you for any upcoming tasks or projects where you have a certain team working on
mm,
it, to take that team with you and to really sit down in a workshop character and to establish your own principles for this upcoming activity, and also to get the commitment from the team for those
mm,
principles. We really have clients that really also insist on the team members signing those principles that they were agreed on, and it may look a bit overrated, but those small principles really will help you on the way to change, to really say, hey, this is what we agreed on, because there may be some decisions where not everyone will be happy about, but you say, okay, this is our principle to
mm.
standardize, this is what we want to have as benefit, and because of this, we are making this decision. So it's the principles to get your own
Mm.
principles with the team where you get commitment is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, I think that also talks really good hand in hand with the position of leadership. That would be my next question to you, Natalia. Like, I think we have a lot of we have a lot of music school leaders watching this webinar now. Could you give us some ideas how could they tackle the change, and how can they invite their teams to to be enthusiastic about this journey they are to embark on?
Yeah, very good question. So, when we talk about the change or different project, it's super important that the employees, on one hand, know that the leadership is sponsoring this and it's really standing strongly behind it, behind the principles, behind the vision, and behind the project. But it's also very important for the project team that they have their own task that they are responsible for, that they can meet their own decisions for
Mm,
their area of expertise. Yeah, so not for the somewhere where it's outside of their expertise, but it's really important to, on the one hand, for the leadership be there and
mm,
show the commitment to the project, but on the other hand give the freedom for the team to really implement the changes that they see as necessary. And of course, what's always very important to lead by example and to really
mm.
be those kind of role model, because when the team notices, okay, my manager or my CEO, they are really behind it, they really want to change things, then they will also follow the same path.
Yeah. Well, I really like your saying lead by example. I think that's the key takeaway that I'm gonna take with me, and maybe some of you watching along as well. So thank you, Natalia. And maybe a question, next question related a bit to this. Um, let's say if one of our schools is about to start their change management process, or they are about to switch to a new system. um, what would be the very first thing they should take into consideration, or what will be the very first step they should do before even starting this journey with new system? What would you recommend?
Um, yeah, that's a very good question, because the first impression, right, you can only
Mm,
make at the beginning and you don't get a second chance for this. So first of all, when we
exactly.
talk about the beginning of a system implementation, probably it will be like a small project for you. So it's important to have a very strong kickoff meeting for the whole team impacted uh, to really be aligned and show those next steps. What we are talking, there's a little bit of uncertainty. So really to have, from the leadership perspective, aligned and well prepared kickoff to share that energy with the team, the project team impacted, so that they can share it further within the
Mm,
organizations. So that will be the beginning. But to get to that beginning, you also have a preparation phase. So here is also very, very important when you think about getting a new system, that most probably it will not be just a system that will be there and will be a change, but there will be also some other changes in the organization outside of the system. So there may be different roles that will be affected, or maybe some roles will not exist anymore. Maybe the tasks of different people will change, the processes will change, and in the end, maybe even the culture will change a little bit, because your managers will have different tasks that they didn't have earlier. So it's really important to know in the preparation it will not be just a system. And of course, you cannot foresee all the changes that will happen, but you can prepare the mindset for the change. So you can prepare early and communicate to the team early, hey, we are implementing a new system. There will be changes for sure. And with that mindset, also putting it to the guiding principles, the open mindset for change, you can tackle it much easier in the project or in any implementation of a new system, as if this change comes by surprise to the
yeah.
project team.
So what you're saying is preparation and setting the clear structure
Yeah.
for the whole change project. Yeah, that's I think that's so relevant that you're also saying that it's not only system switch, it's not only a system switch that comes, like a lot of aspects that come along this system switch. And I think that's super relevant for us as well here in Speedadmin, that we would like to position ourselves as this trusted partner in the not only system switch but in the digitalization journey that our schools are to embark on. Yes, nice, Natalia. Really, really insightful and relevant answers. I'm very happy that we have the chance to talk about it today. Next question and next area, I would even put it like this. Let's make it a bit more tangible. Let's go into some tools and yeah, some practicalities. I would call it like this. So, what are some effective methods or frameworks, maybe, um, that you would recommend when managing change? Are there any? I'm sure there are.
Indeed. I think now I can talk for the next hour, but I'll try to give you a short overlook about those tools that I think are the most efficient. So first of all, I like to structure the change management into three topics to really have a holistic perspective. So first, there are different change activities. Second, there is communication that needs to happen about, for instance, implementing a new system. And then there is training for the end user. So those are really the three buckets. And before you get to the communication and training, there are different change activities that should be done so that your communication and training are targeted and effective. So first of all, for the change strategy, for instance, we talked already a little bit about the to having a vision. What is the system? To having the leadership support. Um, to having the guiding principles that are agreed, and then everything also like a different timeline of the activities coming up. And what are the further activities that can come up? It is, for instance, a very easy tool to conduct a stakeholder analysis at the beginning of the
Mhm.
project. So it's important to take those 2-3 hours for a stakeholder analysis little workshop to think, okay, what are the people impacted by this project and what are their fears and their interests. So it may be the employees that want to have easier access to their data on their courses. It may be the leadership that want to have easier overview of their team's courses and so on. So analyzing this will really enable you to take targeted actions later
Mm.
on. And it's a simple framework that can be easily done in the beginning of the project. Then what I also really like is a so-called change agent network. So that
Okay.
if you are having a change in your organization, you think about the people who have an open mindset, are very well connected in the organization, and because of this, they have a lot of impact on your employees. So maybe you have managers like this or specialists like this, so that you involve them in the project a little bit earlier so that they spread this positive voice within the company, because it's very reliable if you have an expert from 20 years in your company, and if this expert says, the new system, it's really nice, it will help us work more efficiently, then people will believe it. So I think that would be the main smaller tools for
Mhm.
change. But what's also important to prepare is a different training strategy. So once you have those needs analyzed, to really set up a training plan, also using maybe a train the trainer approach that's very common. Maybe you've heard about this concept where you train one or some key users that then train further managers, further employees, and also spread the change in the organization. And last but not least, think also about your communication. Like, what is your clear change story? How do you want to inform,
Yeah.
engage people in the project so that you really make them excited for what's coming?
Yeah. I think that's so important to remember about this excitement as well, because like changes, it is exciting to get to something new. I think we should also try to highlight this importance and this excitement. And I think that was also very interesting what you said about this sort of internal referrals, that that if people if someone who has been with organization for, let's say, 15-20 years, and they back the system up and say, oh hey, let's be the front runners here in the system, then I think it just changes the whole mindset. And mindset would be, I think, the next very important aspect that has to do with change, right? So, if Natalia, you can tell us what, if we can even ask this question, but what kind of mindset helps the teams not just cope with the change, but actually, as we just said, excitement, enjoy the process. It's exciting.
Yeah. So indeed, just an open mindset for change. And I think this doesn't happen by itself, where your team members will say, okay, now I'm open for change, but rather, as we discussed, it needs to come from the top of the
Yeah,
organization. Hey, we have this
yeah,
mindset. You are now here to really change process in your organization. And that's also like the really nice things that we see also as externals, that the people in the organization are happy to be part of the project, because eventually next to their daily work they can also introduce some changes, so it's also
mm,
exciting. And I think as a leadership of a different task or process or project, it's important to give also the safety to the team so that they can learn. So it means they also need to try stuff out. They need
yeah,
to have the courage to change stuff, and it means they need to have the courage to make mistakes. And it needs to be fine to do that and repair later.
yes,
Or it also needs to be fine to speak up in a meeting in front of 20, 30 people. Hey, there's something missing here. And I think that safety needs to be given in any task or in any project. So then the mindset, the open mindset, the excitement
mm,
will be created by its own. And yeah, last but not least, also having a little bit of fun. So it's not just about the project and its work, but when you really invest time also for different after work activities for the people to get to know each other, then the collaboration is also easier. Yeah, so you
yeah,
benefit from this also at work. Yeah, and from what I've noticed in my different clients, it's a little bit easier when your organization is smaller to really have that connection, have that fun, and have this openness for change. So I would say probably the schools are having a little bit of advantage.
yeah. I would also agree on this one. I think what you're saying, Natalia, is just consolidates my view that change is not only about switching the system, it's primarily about people. And we do the system for the people, right? We don't do the system for the sake of doing the new software. We do it for the people to make their life easier to use it. Yes, really nice. Thank you so much, Natalia. I think um, I would really like to ask you about your three most important takeaways that you would like to share on this plenum here with our audience. And please limit yourself to. I know that you could give a huge list of
Uh,
the takeaways, but let's try to keep
Indeed,
it to three.
indeed. So if I need to choose just three, I would go for first of all, have a clear vision, and then communicate this vision clearly to your employees and repeat it. You may think you communicated it once and it's there, but it's not there, it's being forgotten. So at the beginning of each project, each task, share your vision again. Um, as a second point, really target the measures. Don't just do anything, but think what your organization needs for communication and for training. And the third one would be really the mindset to just make or create this environment for open mindset, for fun in the project, in the task, and then the change will just feel a little bit lighter.
That's fantastic, Natalia, and I couldn't agree more. It's it's a beautiful perspective that you have given us today, and yeah, to I think we can wrap up a bit. I'm looking into my other screen to see if there is any questions. I think if you sitting out there and joining us online, if you have any questions, please do use the opportunity now that we have Natalia as our guest today. And yeah, please just write it in the comments. And Natalia, I'm sure going to be very happy to answer all of your questions. So let's use
Definitely.
this next couple of minutes to utilize the time with Natalia. And in the meantime, when we're waiting for some questions incoming, Natalia, is there anything, is there like a key message you wanna share here with us at the very end of this beautiful talk that we had today?
Mm, I think it would be just a summary, a little bit of what we already talked about. So really have the courage for the change, for looking into new opportunities. What are the new tools on the market to just not stay behind? And also lead by example. That's what we said, and it's not true only for leadership. So don't think like, "Oh, I'm not part of the management." You can really change things if you have a proper um, way of thinking, behaving, articulating your ideas, sharing with your colleagues, and also, yeah, making the small changes that in the end also matter.
Yeah, yeah, you just summarize it and got the essence out of it. So thank you so much, Natalia, for this. And I'm still looking here at the other screen to see if there is any questions incoming. We are still giving you some seconds to think it through, and if you want to ask anything, then please just shoot. Um, but I guess, Natalia, you've covered it so well that there's no further questions. Um, and I'm from my side and from the whole team of Speedadmin, we are super thankful that you joined us today, and then that you took your time and that you connected with us here directly from Munich. So thank you so much, Natalia, for your time and for the very interesting insights that you have shared with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope it was helpful also for the schools. And if you have any questions later on, don't hesitate to reach out to Spin Admin, but also to myself via LinkedIn and so on. We are there for you whenever it's needed.
Perfect. Perfect, Natalia. Thank you so much. On that note, I would say have a very nice afternoon, Natalia, and greetings to Munich.
Thank you, and greetings back from winter in Munich. Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. Bye bye. So we have just said goodbye to Natalia. It was a very insightful and relevant session. To me, it was amazing to have her as a guest and have her shared some interesting insights from her perspective with working in a big organization, but also having to do with small mid-sized organizations, as she said. And yeah, if there are no further questions, that we hope that this conversation and this talk that we had with Natalia has shown that change doesn't need to be that hard. And with the right mindset and communication and training, that was the three key takeaways that Natalia had. Yeah, that it will be actually exciting to embark on a new change, and to switch, and to remember that this is not only about system change, but it is also about mindset change and the whole digitalization process that we as Speedadmin want to support you with. Yes, and if you would like to continue the journey with exploring some different solutions and ideas on the concepts that are connected with play, then I would strongly recommend you to visit our playbook website and explore the different content that we've prepared for you. So if you haven't done it yet, then please go to Playbook. And if you don't remember the password or you cannot find a link, then please do text us on our shared info email address, and we will be happy to provide you with the link once again. Yeah, to give you the possibility to explore this beautiful world that we've created, uh, to explore the speed and play a bit better. Yes, on that note, I would also like to say thank you so much for joining online, and see you next time. Bye bye.